Ladies and gentlemen, I went to the dollar store the other day, and as I was buying treats for my dogs, I happened to come across the candy aisle, and you will never believe what I saw. Halloween candy and decor are out now. Ah yes, it's that time of year when everyone starts looking at the calendar and wondering, when is it okay to drop the beach balls and start carving pumpkins instead? However, this early section of Halloween goodies reminded me of something else. Something much more important to society. Sonic and Mario are both releasing 2D games this October, and in the same week no less. Yes, that's correct. Today's video is all about the 90s mascots doing battle once again in a couple of months. Now, I made a video talking about the renewed rivalry, so if you want to hear more on that, feel free to check out that video. But today's video is going to keep it specific to these games only, okay? Sonic Superstars and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. More specifically, which game will release to more success? This is not an easy question to answer because both these titles have similar pressure on them put by Sega and Nintendo. Both are looking to usher in a new era of 2D platforming for their respective franchises, and both were very much announced to people's surprise. So without further ado, let's break down this heavyweight fight. So Super Mario Bros. Wonder is a really cool concept. Mario for years has lived inside the Mushroom Kingdom, but never once thought to actually do mushrooms himself until now. I'm just kidding, Say no to drugs, do not let the dare line down, I'm just kidding. But this does take a very established 2D formula for Mario and flip it on its head. Yes, now Mario and friends will be adventuring through the kingdom, battling Goombas, Koopas, and even Bowser, with the twist of Pandora's box happening. It seems like Nintendo really wanted to stress this point of anything can happen, which is understandable. I mean, let's be real, every new Super Mario Bros. Game felt pretty predictable and you kind of knew what you were expecting. Mario jumps over stuff, sometimes becomes a cat or a flying squirrel, jumps onto a flag at the end, boom, course cleared. However, this game is really changing that formula to add more random chaos and different ways to get to point A to point B. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a 2D platformer, but it feels like for the first time in quite some time, Nintendo's actually trying again. Good for them. This game also comes at a time when the Switch is on its final holiday release as the primary way to enjoy Nintendo games. That is correct. There have been a lot of reports suggesting and really all but confirming Switch 2's existence and roadmap coming next holiday season, which by the way, I also did a video on that and I was pretty much 100% correct. Not to brag, but yeah. This could be the final major Mario release for the Nintendo Switch, and it's coming in the holiday season, which puts this game under a different spotlight. I always wondered, how do you cap off such a successful console like the Nintendo Switch? Tears of the Kingdom would have been an incredible swan song, but they released it in May. Metroid Prime 4 would have been such a Chad move, but they actually don't have a release date for that. In fact, we've heard literally nothing on that since its trailer. And this console is literally the third best selling console of all time, with some of the best titles ever on this console. Honestly, for a while I thought maybe we'd see a Mario sports title to cap off the Switch's life cycle, like maybe Super Mario Baseball or something like that. But that didn't actually happen. Instead, we got something much better and with much more soul, that being Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And I won't lie, it's a brilliant way to end the Switch's amazing run. Think about it, all the 2D Mario games have literally been the same for the last 10 plus years, with each one being dubbed a new Super Mario Bros. Yada yada yada, new Super Mario Bros. U, new Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. But to say goodbye to the Switch's final holiday season, we say hello to a brand new art style and direction for 2D Mario. It's pretty refreshing if you ask me. And if this is the swan song for Nintendo's best-selling console of all time, well then what a ride it's been. But that's the story for Mario. What about his rival and good old pal Sonic? Well, Sonic Superstars, much like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, is ushering in a new era for 2D Sonic. It has a much more fresh, albeit slightly reused art style from Generations. This comes as a shock too, because in the early trailer, we saw classic Sonic running from his pixel form to his new Sonic form. Not only that, but the game is entirely built up from scratch, with new mechanics and fresh animations as well to go with that beautiful new art style. It was also headed up by the most legendary Sonic director of all time, the man who led the old Sonic Team USA and made SA2, Takashi Iizuka. Now, he wasn't the only person leading this game's development. Naoto Oshima also collaborated as well, and he's been around Sega and Sonic since the 90s. They also got the idea for Sonic Superstars when they had a Zoom meeting and played a drinking game. I mean, how awesome is that? Nothing like alcohol and good friends to bring out the best best ideas. Sometimes. In any case, Sonic Superstars takes everything we know about classic 2D Sonic and reinvents it for a much more modern 2023 spin. We see the Chaos Emeralds are a big focus for this game. They give us cool powers, open up endless possibilities, and when progressing through stages, you can open up different ways to get from point A to point B, again, much like Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We also see that they are heavily marketing co-op and Sonic and Friends, like Knuckles, Tails, Amy Rose, and maybe some other random character who shall not be named until Sega decides to actually tell us who the other person that is supposed to be for this game. We also see that they design new and original stages to go along with all the other new about this game. And the best part, no Green Hill Zone. I mean, look, the stage is iconic forever, but my god, it's nice to finally see a game without that stage. It is so badly overdone. The other cool thing about Sonic Superstars that also relates to the stages is each character gets their own unique stage in the game. I mean, seriously, they put some love into this game. Combine that with all the new villains like Trip and an old favorite like Fang and Eggman, and yeah, this game has a making to be a huge hit for the Sonic franchise. I mean, even Sega saw the release window for Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Forza Motorsport 7, Alan Wake 2, and said, yeah, we're still going to release this game in that same window. If that doesn't exude confidence, what does? So now we have backgrounds on both of these 2D platformers, but which game will win this round of Mario vs. Sonic? Well, believe it or not, I actually think it will be a dead even draw. You see, Mario is going to sell more copies. That shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. It's Mario. However, Sonic Superstars could set its own franchise personal records for sales and keep pace with the latest best-selling Sonic game, which is Sonic Frontiers. In addition to the massive sales both games are looking to acquire, we can also expect pretty solid reviews for both games. Now, Mario usually reviews well, with critics liking New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and that came out to an 8 out of 10 on IGN and an 80 Metacritic score, which is not too shabby, although it was a step down from the original New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, which had an 89 Metacritic score, and the follow-up, New Super Mario Bros. U, which had an 84 Metacritic score. Anyways, the point here is that Mario is probably going to review well with critics like it always does. And it sounds crazy to say, but Sonic's also going to sit well with critics, I think, as well. Most newer releases for Sonic have surprisingly reviewed better than you'd expect. Sonic Frontiers, which debuted at a 75 Metacritic, and Sonic Origins Plus hitting a similar number, was not bad for the Sonic franchise. And then there was The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which hit a whopping 82 on Metacritic. I mean, I can't remember the last time Sonic got an 80 on Metacritic. I think it might have been Generations, and that was just a point-and-click murder mystery game with small 2D platforming levels mixed in. Of course, don't get me wrong, I love The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. However, the real critics that both mascots need to win over are the fans. You see, I've been paying attention to Mario fans' hype level and excitement for New Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That's just a bad habit. There are a small few who worry about the wacky nature of the game being a bit too much, and you can believe this or you cannot believe this, but it's true. There are some people out there who don't even like the talking flowers. I mean, seriously, it's a talking flower that makes jokes. What's not to love? But still, the anticipation for this game is real, even with some small vocal minorities voicing some opinions. And fans of the 2D Mario games are loving the fresh animation and art style that we're getting in this game. Sonic fans, on the other hand, have been a bit spoiled recently. I mean, how can you not be spoiled when the 3D Sonic game reviewed and played really well and was a great return to form? There's content for Sonic everywhere, including Hollywood and Netflix. We got that murder mystery game for Sonic as well, plus content for Origins Plus. I mean, this is not to say Sonic fans have been at total peace, because there's still random goofballs who debate things like Sonic's eyes, ears, nose, hair, shoes, and other pointless stuff that leads to nowhere. But it is to say that the bickering has been much more lax and chill. Sonic fans universally, though, are really excited for Superstars, because much like Mario, it's a fresh take on 2D. Unlike Mario, this game is just another W to add to the growing collection for the franchise. Whereas with Mario, the content's been kind of slow, and the W's are there, but they take much longer to get nowadays. But like I said, this all leads to a dead even draw. I think Mario's gonna sell a bit more, I think Sonic's gonna review a little bit higher, blah blah blah, but I think both games are really gonna set the tone for their respective franchises. and 2D platforming as a whole is going to be much better off with both of these games releasing. And if you ask me, after a decade of Mario being wildly successful even on a bad console like the Wii U, and Sonic almost dying after that initial trailer model reveal, I think it's pretty cool that we're at a point where I can say, yeah, Sonic and Mario, that's a draw, at least this time. Rivalries are way better when both sides are competitive. To quote the great Joel Embiid of the 76ers, "It's not a rivalry when they always kick our ass." And for many years in the 2010s, Sonic ass was thoroughly kicked by Mario. However, nowadays Sonic has had some objective W's over Mario, and it's much closer than it was before. And this holiday season, it's going to be extremely close when we see the release of Sonic Superstars and Super Mario Bros. Wonder in the same week. In any case, we the fans are the real winners here, because for once, we actually get to look forward to both franchises succeeding. So what do you guys think? Which game will be the talk of the town when they release this October? Are you Team Sonic or Team Mario? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you guys for stopping by. Hope to see you guys in the next video, but until then, peace.